St David's Day is the perfect opportunity for us Welsh to celebrate. Now, as a nation, we love our emblems, this being one of them, the leek. The legend has it that it was St David himself that suggested to soldiers that they should wear a leek on their helmets to distinguish between friend and foe during battle. Even to this day, some Welsh love to wear their leek with pride on St David's Day. But many of us prefer wearing Cenhinen Pedyr, or Peter's leek, another of our national emblems, also known, of course, as the daffodil. Here's some I picked earlier.
Well, the daffodil is special because it's the sunshine. It's the first real flower that comes out with this gold, warm colour after the dark, dreary winter. So it's spring. It's the first sign of spring. You know, you've got the snowdrops, but the snowdrops are still cold and small. You've got this big blaze of colour with the daff. That shows that summer is just around the corner. I think the special thing about daffodils is that there's always some activity in the bulb. Right from the time that we plant the bulb in September, the bulb itself is developing the flower inside, and you can dissect a bulb in September and find inside your earliest first daffodil completely formed. And that's a miracle, that really is. It's absolutely wonderful.
As part of the St David's Day celebrations in St David's, local school children take part in a dragon parade through the city. The pupils of Ysgol Bro Dewi are getting ready for this year's parade.
I'm making a mask for the St David's Day parade.
I'm making the eyes, the nostrils and the fire that it breathes out of it.
It's a girly dragon. It's like really cool.
This year, the children are all going to be individual dragons as part of a big dragon procession.
The parade is an opportunity for the children to learn more about their patron saint.
It's about celebrating St David and the people around him.
We celebrate St David for the good things that he's done.
He did a miracle. He put a handkerchief on the ground because no one could hear him when he was preaching, and the ground rose and he stood on it so everyone could hear him and see him.
St David's Day in St David's is very special. Obviously, we've got the cathedral here and the birthplace of St David. It's a very, very good connection to have with Welsh history and Welsh culture, and just the feeling that we have of being in a very special place in this part of Wales.
I was brought up as an Anglican, but as a teenager drifted away from the church. I think I would have described myself as certainly agnostic, if not an atheist. I regarded religion and Christianity in particular and the church as a sort of anachronism, as a historical leftover of some kind.
But a holiday to St David's at the age of 18 was to challenge Patrick's personal beliefs.
One day when I was wandering along the cliff path, that I had an extraordinary experience of what I can only describe as the reality of God in the world around me. Perhaps it was the atmosphere around about, the butterflies rising up, the fact that the place itself was connected with so many centuries of prayer that somehow had begun to have an effect on me. But I wasn't quite sure what to make of that at the time. I was left feeling slightly confused.
A year later, Patrick, with a growing faith, was beginning to see things more clearly.
I began to realize that I seemed to have this calling. I decided to work out
whether I had a vocation to the priesthood or not. So I walked and hitchhiked all the way from Shrewsbury to St David's and ended up in the St Thomas Chapel here, and realised as I was kneeling in front of the altar that I had to dedicate my life in that way. And I was ordained here in St David's Cathedral, which was something that, again, was completely unexpected. So I think it was a rather peculiar pilgrimage. St David's has a special place in my life because it was the place where I discovered my vocation, and it's also a place where I find it perhaps easy to pray as well, a place where there is this very special atmosphere. And it is a place, well, to use T.S. Eliot's phrase, a place where prayer has been valid and where prayer still is valid. And that's, to me, is quite wonderful.